Hello, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and welcome back to Let's Play Captain of Industry. I'm 7foot Dustbunny, and I've been watching this for a while, and I'm semi-convinced at the moment that there is enough. I think we might yet have to do one more, because this is slowly building up. But the main thing that's doing that is that some of these outputs are getting full. And this one seems to be running as fast as possible, but if I did decide to boost this one with Unity or double it up, which I may well be doing, it's not going to cope. But we'll look at that, because the first thing we're going to need to do is get this hooked up. You see, this needs materials for research now, which needs level 2 construction components, which we handily have right here, and electronics, he says, which we handily also have nearby, which we can also tuck an extra storage in if we want to, which I might well do for good measure. Now, the question is, where do they go in? I mean, there is no, like, real conveyor on this. I don't see. Maybe it's blocked. I don't know. Nothing seems to be being delivered. Oh, this is preparing the upgrade. Preparing upgrade requires lab equipment. Oh, right. So we need the lab equipment. Okay, I had misunderstood that. So, how do we make lab equipment? That is one I have not seen yet. So, where is such things? Ruba? Kiln? Something for glass, for lab equipment makes me think, oh, hello. Makes me think glass, but I don't actually see it here. Housing, level 2, which holds more people, so there's always the ability, if we need more workers, to actually upgrade the housing, and I'm assuming upgraded housing means happier people, and as we have quite a bit of the relative components at the moment, I might just start upgrading anyway, because we've got quite a few of the components we need for that at the moment, so you might as well start things going. See, there we go, all the parts are coming already, and hopefully higher grade housing means happier people. Right, so that's a forestry control tower, which I guess we can actually do now. I don't know if it makes it any quicker. I mean, it's working happily anyway, so I'm thinking let's not mess with it. Fuel station we've got. Where is lab equipment? So I'm assuming maybe lab equipment is in the assembler as something we can make. It is. There we go. It requires electronics and mechanical parts. Okay, so at the moment, mechanical parts, we have, is this mechanical parts? No, that is not mechanical parts. That is mechanical parts right there. Now we are producing, but I think as this is often strained out when the requirement gets high enough for maintenance and things like that, I think we need to think about upgrading that puppy and making another one. So for mechanical parts, all we seem to need is steel plate. So I mean, that is certainly something we can chuck out over here, no problem whatsoever. So we could even put one here, somewhere, anywhere to figure out. So we'll have a look at where we're going to build the other part. So the other element of this is going to be here. So we need mechanical parts and electronics. So electronics we're producing here anyway. My only fear is I'm going to have to I've got a funny feeling I'm going to have to feed lab components into the lab on an ongoing basis. So part of me thinks that I need to be building this up here somewhere. So what I'm thinking is to put in another ramp situation. Do you put in a bigger ramp this time? Let's put in a bigger ramp this time with a little room for expansion of the construction parts there. And what we want to do is send some electronics and some iron plate down this way. So let's start off by doing that and seeing if that's going to help matters. And you go, oh, you have to go that way. Fine, so be it. You can't go. Okay, fine. What if I do it over here and then go straight out over? That might well be tidier, because if I am going to put another unit here, I may want it to go that way. So let's put that through there, and then we'll put it, that can go to there for the time being. And then we can bring iron plate alongside to go through this gap as well, up to here. And that means we can put an assembler over here. Yes, I think so. An assembler over here doing each. So storage, yes, fine. Where has assemblers gone? Come on, where are you, assemblers? I seem to have completely lost my mind onto how to play this game today. Where are you, Mr. Assembler? Am I cracking up? Am I going past it like a dozen times here? It's right there, isn't it? Yes, electric assembler. There we go. So input, output. So let's have input there. And let's build another one right next door. Yep, perfect. I think they're on the same line. Yep. So you are going to build lab equipment. And you're going to build mechanical parts. Yes, there we go. So the easy way now is to connect that straight into there. This input can go around as we've done before, directly into there. And this one can go directly to there. And that will straight away produce the desired lab equipment. So now I'm just going to put a small flat belt here. Oh, no, there. Come on, thank you. And we'll also build a storage for said lab equipment, just because we probably should. That will then completely upgrade. I'm assuming then there will be some input ports on here somewhere requiring some sorts of inputs. Hopefully we'll see that. But at the moment, I think I'm relatively happy with the concrete production. It is filling up, but like I say, I think some of that is because, I mean, these aren't actually full, so maybe not. Depends on the level of demand, I guess. Right, so lab equipment is being produced and is going. So that should now have this one. There we go. This one is upgrading. And yes, there is an input, and the input requires lab equipment, as predicted. So handily, this is going to line up pretty well. So I guess we just stick a transport conveyor directly across and in. And Bob, as they say, is your father's brother. So go, go, go. And as soon as that's made, that should be working. And I'm assuming, not sure how much lab equipment we're talking about consuming here on an ongoing basis, because obviously that's enough for the research to start, and then it takes some time from there. I don't know if it needs 4 per 60 seconds. So, and this produces 8 per 60 seconds. So I was also told about clicking this per 60 seconds button. So this per 60 seconds is actually kind of cool, because this now says, this does all the maths for me, and is basically telling me, right, so for 60 seconds of production I get 24. I'm consuming 4, so I need not worry. Yeah, so if I did the same over here, for 60 seconds I need 8. Yeah, and here every 60 seconds apparently I produce 12, so I'm getting plenty. So how many bricks do I need per 60 seconds? So as I've actually got 2 going, I need 24. And these produce per 60 seconds, technically 24. So exactly spot on. So we should be okay. Oh, and advanced research, we can collect a reward. Nice. Discovering oil rig by exploring with your ship. Also nice. Research power generation 2, we have not done that yet. But in the meantime, I think maybe we should be looking at the map and saying, why don't we explore some of these places? It seems reasonable. I've hit this explore. So ship should be, oh, ship's already gone. So yeah, I think we should be trying to explore, and maybe if we increase the housing up as well, we'll end up with some happier people. And we need to research advanced diesel as well. No need to rush this goal. Take your time. Make sure you develop the other parts in your industry as well. Okay. So I'm going to upgrade some of this other housing. I know it's going to mean we have a glut of free housing. But I don't think that's a massive problem. We've got plenty of food. We've got plenty of, though I do notice we're holding potatoes, but we have no potatoes in the input at the moment. I think this field is fallow at the moment. Yeah, it's working on fertility, but I've got them cycling, and that should be okay at the moment, because what we should be getting here is, ooh, no, this one is empty natural replenishment. What are you now growing? You're growing veggie troubles, and you're also growing veggie troubles. And then you go fallow. So we're a bit short on potatoage, but maybe we need to reorganize things. Oh no, here we go. This one is going straight into potatoes, so that's good. So we should end up with potatoes there, going fairly quickly. What's your problem? You are queued. You cannot get to... Right, okay. I meant to mention this. I had a bit of a problem because I've blocked in this tank. I had a bit of a problem that they couldn't deliver to this tank. And they kept wanting to. So I kind of put another tank here, which has since become fully full. Which is a little bit upsetting. But I'm just going to recover this one with Unity and let him sort himself out. Yeah, he can't reach destination. I'm guessing hitting the mic. What we could do is just tick that one down so it's a little bit empty all the time, and maybe then they'll deliver to this one. Because then we'll turn the truck import off on that one, and we'll have it on this one, and maybe that will work, because we're getting a couple of trucks backed up here with crude oil. I'm guessing they're trying to empty crude oil from here. I don't quite know where they're why they're collecting crude oil in the first place, because they shouldn't be. Seems a bit odd. Not sure what's going on there. We'll keep an eye on those. Mine control tower, no available places to dump the goodies. You should be able to dump. What can't you dump? You've got dirt. Dirt is dumpable right here. You're supposed to take dirt. You're supposed to have dirt. So dirt. Go. Problem solved. You should be dumping, yes. And this one is still struggling to find the thing. Yeah, I understand. Okay, we're just going to get rid of that oil and see if that fixes the problem. You really? Just sort yourself out, man. Yeah. Are you fixed? Are you fixed, sir? Are you okay? Good. Right. Moving swiftly on to other new things. The burner research is almost done. Now, I've also been looking at some of this square footage area I've got and whether I need to think reorganization, because ultimately, to my understanding, or at least in the real world, industry works as it's cheaper and easier to produce things like copper plate near the copper mine and then ship it to your destination. However, I am not sure if that is the case here. For example, what we got? Copper scrap. Let's just turn that off. We don't need that one running anymore. So, for example, this in 60 seconds takes 24 copper ore, but it produces 24 copper plates. So that's fairly even. The question is, how much can a truck carry? You know, how much copper ore does a truck carry? And I'm not sure if that's there. Oh, location explored. Okay, let's check that out. Oh, we've discovered cargo ship technology. Hoorah! That sounds useful, maybe. Hoorah! Okay, let's send the ship home. We can start repairs. I'm good for starting repairs. Let's start repairs. I don't have a cargo ship mined, but I don't know what that means for us. Start loading the ship. Let's does that bring the ship home? I've forgotten. We have discovered a burner. What does a burner actually do, by the way? Burner. So you burner solid, accepts waste, burns it, produces air pollution. At the moment, I'm happier dumping the dump. So that's fine, because the dumping the dump makes land for me. Go home. There we go. That's the button I'm looking for. It's not hugely intuitive where that button is. It would be nice if that button was on the map, devs, if you're listening, because then it would be nice and easy and intuitive to find. So we have tons of room for new people, but I'm loath to get new people because I don't need new people right now. And I am going to tell it to cut down that tree. Okay, so Yeah, you see, what we got here is we're dumping anyway. And as we're dumping out, we're building this area out. I mean, as is, I might actually reduce this dumping zone a bit, but my whole idea was, I'm not sure it's going to work because I can see the ground here, was to turn this area into like a port. Because if I said, oh, I want a trading dock, I'm not sure it's going to work, because it's going to be like, no, you can't do that. Because it says some part needs to be in the ocean. And I mean, it's not a very good example here. But like here would be fine. But it's how far you can deal with like the drop off of stuff. This stone like's a problem. And I can obviously see mild stone in this ocean. So I'm not sure that where I've chosen to do it is actually a good plan. It might be better to do it, for example, over here. And sort of break that area out. So I'm not so sure about this. I might be changing my mind here and moving this around, because it is filling in and that will work, but I'm not sure it's going to work in the long term, because that underwater stone seems to be a problem if you ask me. Whereas if I built one up here, I think I could build out to here more easily. I don't see anywhere else I can do it nicely. Maybe around here. But I want to do it on the lower level land. So I am thinking to move that. Actually, I am going to move it. So let's go and stick a mine control tower over there. Make that a dumping zone. And so we want a mine control tower here. We want to say you're going to control this area. Oh, that's your maximum area. Okay, so you're going to control this area right out to here for now at least, and then we'll work on the rest. And then we want a dumping zone, and we're going to want it level with this. And no, that seems to be going up. I said flat, please. So level with 2, yes please. I want a dumping zone level with 2 out into the ocean all the way along here, and the same in this direction. And this is an ambitious project, I know, but I think this is the way to go here. And the other thought is we can dig up some of these less than flat bits nearby, and even if we end up dumping those back into the ocean to level it out, we can still sort that, and we can adjust the mine control tower later on to deal with that. I think I'll get rid of this strip, that strip, and get rid of that strip. They seem to be superfluous, he says. Don't know about that last one. So that'll do there. And then at which point I am going to clear this dumping zone. Yoink, like so. And I am going to get rid of this mine control tower, because I think I don't want that. I think. We'll see. We'll see how that goes. Right. Research power generation 2. We'll get on with that and see what that brings us to. Okay, so we completed providing the stuff for the cargo ship. I'm not sure what this is. New recipes, I'm guessing. Interesting. And we haven't acquired a cargo ship. I'm guessing that's because we don't have a cargo dock for it yet. which is fine. However, our new power generation is finished, so we can do a thing with a high pressure turbine and then a generator which produces like 6 megawatts of juice and produces some excess steam, which is fine. We got like, I think this is like superheated steam and just steam, and that produces, each one of those flywheels takes 3 megawatts to run of mechanical energy to run, but produces 2 megawatts of electricity. That doesn't seem hugely efficient, but fair enough. Whereas these just produce 800 kilowatts of power and produce air pollution. I mean, at the moment I'm guessing steam isn't air pollution, so I can see the benefit there. But how do I produce the steam in the first place? That seems not to be here, because somewhere I have to produce steam. There doesn't seem to be a recipe for the generators to produce steam. So, oh, there's a boiler right there, which requires coal. So instead of running my industry off oil, which basically I have quite a lot of, I can run it off coal, which seems to be a more finite resource at present, at least. Anyway, I'm not sure if that's the way I want to go. I mean, this is small, but is this even depleting? I don't know. I'm guessing it's depleting. Oh, it is. Yes, the crude oil reserve is depleting. Is at 51%. Okay. That is more interesting. Whereas my coal, if I click on perhaps my coal, that doesn't seem to work in the same way here. If I click on the coal, it doesn't tell me that. So, okay, so I'm guessing by that development, we probably do want to switch over, and I mean, as the game sort of suggests it's the progression, we probably do want to switch over to our power generation being coal based, as crazy as that seems to me. Which is, as I say, seems a little crazy to me, but I'm thinking to build it over in this area out the way a bit, because that's where the coal is. So it would seem reasonable to build the power generation over here. So you'd do something like build a boiler. We're going to need some water, aren't we? Yes, we are. Groundwater. So that's going to move where I build this slightly to over here, I guess. Because we're going to need the groundwater. And we're going to need a storage tank for that groundwater. Let's do it there. And then if we need additional groundwater, we can sort that out later. Hopefully we shouldn't need massive amounts. And I'm wondering if we can cool the steam back down later and reuse it, because that would be more efficient. But who knows? This is just a game after all. So a boiler. Oops, pressed the right button, Sev. A boiler, which we need to do. So we're going to want superheated steam there. I'm building this very compact, but at the moment, that's going to be the way I'm going to roll with it. And then I'm going to see later on if I change my mind and decide this needs to be a much more extensive build. But let's just start small for now and just make sure we understand how it works. So let's, lovely lightning, always good. Let's have a smokestack here. Now the burner I've not really got interested in, because the burner just burns waste and produces air pollution. So that seems suboptimal to me. Over dumping, so I'm not bothering with that for the time being. I'm just going to ignore it and pretend it doesn't exist. Okay, so you're going there to there. Thank you. Beautiful. And superheated steam. Right. If I rotate you that way. Oh, so you can chain these up. Look, you can put mechanical energy in one. You can multi-chain these. So that is tempting. And if we press F, I would quite like it that way round for one. So my thought is you would actually build, say, like that, and then you would build another one, the same rotation like that. So that is 12 megawatts of doobly-doos. And for that, you're going to need to put 4 of these doobly-doos, which produce power. And then, so how much steam does this produce per 60 seconds? It produces 48. This requires 24. So that's perfect. So that actually ties up lovely. Because that is going to work perfectly to go there. Now, I don't know, this smokestack can accept 60 steam, and so how much does this put out? This puts out 60 exhaust, so that's just full. Okay. So we'll get a separate smokestack for this one. That's fine. I can live with that. Smokestacks are relatively cheap anywho. So you can go into there, and you can go into... Nope, that's not quite how I wanted that to work. You can go into there, like so. Perfect. Beautiful, lovely, and that should produce power. Now, it says you put... I'm just wondering a second. You put 3 megawatts of mechanical power in, and it obviously has a storage of that because it's a flywheel. Yeah, I'm guessing that's fine. I'm guessing that's fine. So, the one thing we're missing here is coal, which we're going to want a significant amount of. So we're going to want some coal storage going on here. Let's drop at least 2 of these down. This one will assign to coal and we'll say needs to be kept full, and this one will assign to coal and we'll hopefully keep it at least half full as a buffer. I don't know if I tell it to keep it half full, it won't fill it above that. So if I just tell it to keep that full as well, screw it. That one will come in, that will bring the coal in. We're already up and running. So with that, I think it's time to at least disassemble some of this. I'm thinking to get rid of some of these pumps as well, because at the moment we're just running, we're using 54. How much do you produce? 18. No, I'm going to leave everything else, but I'm just going to get rid of the diesel fired generators. Or do I? Okay, these ones, I've got them. I'm going to turn them off. Because if things go to crap, maybe later I can use them to kickstart the scenario. I was just suddenly thinking, with this one, maybe I don't want to get rid of it. Maybe I want to rebuild it. Is that rebuilding? Yes. And maybe I want to just pause it, because later on I might want these if I have a problem and need to try and kickstart my industry back up again. Why are you carrying potatoes? Are you not supposed to use potatoes? Oh, potatoes from here don't get carried. So missed a trick right there, didn't I? So potatoes here need to be joining the belt. Yes, potatoes from there need to join the belt. Because then, yes, then they're coming straight out. And they're coming down here. And you get a level of storage going on. Yes, excellent. Wonderful, wonderful. That is doing its thing. So over here we now have power generation. We have 8 megawatts being produced. Yes, that's correct. That's correct. And oh, we got a thing for that. So advanced diesel and biofuel crisis management. This sounds like something we can do. Pinning important products. Right. Not sure I'm with that. So we can see them at all times. Well, hopefully it's doing that anyway. Storage alerts. So you can put an alert. So basically, for example, we can put an alert on if notify me if less than 75%. Yeah. So if this one drops below 75%, it's like emergency. And then I know I'm in the crap because I'm running out of coal to feed this. So at the moment these trucks are hammering back and forth. I mean, fortunately they don't have to hammer too far, but then they are going off over here to dump the dirt. But the trees are being cleared over there. So the next thing I think I need to think about, which is coming up on thoughts, is what do I do about the coal situation? Because I think I'm going to need to go down here. And obviously I'm going to want the entrance to be in this area because, again, power, this is where the coal is coming out. I mean, it would be handy to have an exit this way, but if the trucks have to go around this way, the trucks have to go around this way. But it seems to me that I need to start thinking fairly soon about, there are these like, they like curtain walls or whatever they're called. I should know, I used to work in the construction industry some time ago. What are they? Like retaining wall, yeah. So this like retaining wall, what you kind of need is you need to build in a retaining wall like back here and over here, and then you ramp down inside that, and then you can go as deep as you like straight next to it. It's a clever way of doing it. Now it says let's look at the old map, and you can have a look here and see that really you want the retaining wall to be here because sorry, weird alarm going off there for some reason, because then you can bring it down this way, or you can put the retaining wall like round here and bring the trucks in here, and they come in this way, pick up and whatever. So, but what you probably want is it needs to be wide enough that, say, like 2 trucks are going to be able to go along there without issue. So you want to go like there, there, and let's say there, because eventually you're going to want, I'm assuming, this to join it maybe one way or another. If you go that way, so that you can dig out here later. But then on the cross section, you'll want, say, a corner section, like that. And then we put retaining wall. Is there a way of like dragging these? That would be nice. Because what you want is to put a whole bunch of retaining wall along here, which is going to start chewing through our concrete supply. Yeah, and you're going to want enough space for a few trucks to actually like get out at one time. So the trucks to go either way through the retaining wall path. I am assuming, for example, because I don't want to make it too massive, that would be enough. And then what you do, you go down here with your retaining wall. At the same time, you see, this is why I might need to step up the amount of concrete we're producing for this very purpose. Right, and I'm going to want to put a corner here anyway, because I still want the trucks to be able to get in. So that's another, oh balls, you need to go, sir. So that's another important point, is you need to make sure that you've got space for your other trucks to keep working around if need be. And hopefully, like that, I think. I'm hoping that's going to be wide enough for your two trucks to go up and down without crashing into each other. If it's not, I'm going to end up having to widen this. In fact, I've screwed up anyway, so I'm going to widen it by 1 now. Yeah, I'm going to widen this by 1 right now by putting another short retaining wall there. Have I got that? Need to get the position right. No, what is that not happening for me there? Is that me? What's going on? So retaining wall T. I could do it with a T and then just do the corner off it. I might do that, because that's being a bit weird. I don't know why the retaining wall short is being a pain there. Oh, I see, it goes that way. That's why it goes 1 square that way, like so. There we go. But I would say that's in my mind, that should be wide enough for a truck to go either way. I mean, the truck is only, say, like, call it a square, 2 squares wide, and you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So you should have plenty of space for trucks to go up and down here without causing too much stress. And then we just keep pummeling these in. And all we need to be aware of is when we start excavating in this area, that we don't excavate outside of the retaining wall, so to speak, because the retaining wall will obviously be retaining everything. And as I say, what you'll need to do is actually, we may in fact need to change this piece here, one of these pieces, to be a T, so we can put retaining wall along down here as well. So what I might need to do is take this piece apart, put the T piece in like that, put a short in like that, and then you can put this retaining wall along down here, for example, for digging later. Now my understanding is that this shows how much dirt is on top. Now I don't know if you can put retaining wall on top of retaining wall, or whether you have to you know, we might discover we need to do a layer, bring it down, and then put another layer of retaining wall in later, and that might well be the case, but I'm gonna stick with what I've done now and go from there, because I think that will be okay. I might only do one there, and we'll put the corner piece there, and that will give us a bit of space to pull things back later. But yeah, then I'm guessing we can move like a mind control tower up here or something, and have this starting to excavate, because what you want to do is excavate down, he says. I'm even going to try and put this in now. So I'm figuring what you'll want to do is actually, if we go F piece, yep, let's go around this way. So I would guess from this side we can actually, I don't know, we can probably be alright to just dig at those two like that. Oh, that's a bugger. Oh crap, it's not quite wide enough. Isn't that a pain in the butt? Because I'm guessing I like, if I pulled this out, is that even gonna, I can't do that because there's retaining wall, so it's not gonna work. Now that's an interesting factor of how you build your retaining wall, isn't it? Okay, so we have to build the retaining wall within kind of the constraints of the big black lines. Okay, so that's upsetting. And I'm gonna want to scrap most of this all over again and re-look at this with in a slightly different light here, because I've just learnt something important. So yeah, apparently I want to build retaining wall along the lines of the big black lines. So that very much changes how I'm going to look at that. Let's have a look here. Let me contemplate a moment, and then I will bring you back in. Okay, so with that in mind, I've basically, outside the working area of this mind control tower, I've basically tried to work out how I'd want this to go. And this is how I think I want it to go. So, reading the tooltip, it does say here, walls will collapse if they hold more than 5 units of retained material. So that is certainly worth bearing in mind, because obviously that means, yeah, things could go poorly if we go deeper than that right now. So let's start off with that. And I mean, this I'm assuming is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 units down. Actually, again, let's scrap that one, and let's put the T. Let's put the T right at the start, because then I can come out further and sort that out later. So let's put the T here. Let's put the T. No. Let's have a look at the way the corner is going to go first. The corner will go like right there. And then let's kind of work out where we're going to put it. Yeah, so I think the T is going to go there. Perfect. And then we'll put a couple of short bits of wall there to make sure we don't have any collapsage. And the reason that I've made it flat here on the turning point. I don't know if you actually need to, but I think in real life you would make that kind of flat, because you would. And then over here I've made a bigger flat point because we may want to go down further later when we're building like a second set of retaining walls. But I think that would be a second set of retaining walls based on the fact that anything like 5 or deeper, because this is 5, you've gone down from +2 to +1, so you're at +1 here, so that's 1 unit, to 0 is 2 units, 3, 4 and 5 units. So I'm relatively confident I've got that correct. He says. Notice I say relatively confident rather than I am confident. But you know. Then we want to get the corner in, and oh, that was not well positioned, Sev. You could have done better there. You could have done a lot better. Let's see. There we go, like that. Who don't mind. So we're going to get all that retaining wall back in. Yoink, like so. And then we can actually then ask the mine control tower to start considering mining this out. But I'm probably not going to until my coal supply above runs out. Really, this is prep work. This is something of me sort of making sure I've used the materials I need, because I don't want to be running out of coal and then be panicking that I need a shed ton of concrete, because concrete takes coal to make, and if I make sure I've got my access to my next level of coal before that point comes, I consider that to be good planning. So, you know, rightly or wrongly, I think this is the best approach to sort of be thinking, right, I need to get down to another 5 layers of this, and I'm gonna start building probably more of this out around this way to try and head this off at the pass. And I mean, as is, this again means I might actually end up taking more concrete here to keep concrete coming in, because we're using quite a lot of it. Let's turn it off a second. So we're using quite a lot of the concrete for retaining wall, and we're going to want to have this so that we have good access into here and can mine out as much of this deposit as possible without it really hurting us. So it's not going to be too long before the coal situation starts to get quite dire here and lacking. So this is why I'm concentrating on this now, because I think this is an intelligent move. but we will see. My intelligence has been unintelligent before, so I will probably try and dress some of this out, and then I'll bring you back in. But that will have to be next time, because I'm going to say thank you very much for watching. Like and subscribe as always, and join us again next time. Thanks a lot.